I tried looking you up and nothing. It's like you don't even exist.
I guess I'm just your fantasy.
This movie is so much fun.
Oh, thank you.
I had such a great time watching it. And I love how it kind of has this like action comedy thriller start to it and evolves into a romantic comedy. How did you find that balance between kind of those four different aspects?
Yeah, we were in numerous genres kind of colliding here. But I didn't really, we just started out with a character study, this Gary thing. And it was only as it evolved and got bigger, I was like, oh, this is kind of noirish, you know, a little crime. It's like, oh, this is a little screwball comedy. If she's not a Black Widow setting him up in the old film noir tradition, if they're meant for each other, that puts us in screw. And then hovering over everything is the hitman subgenre in the crime film area. So it's kind of like, oh, you know, all these things. There's artifice to all of them that we kind of ran with, had fun with, but hopefully in a fairly realistic way, you know.
It was such a blast. I absolutely adored it. Yeah. And then can you talk to me about working with Glenn, not just as the star of the movie, but as like a co-writer and producer as well?
Yeah, well, you know, he was my creative partner on this all the way, but, you know, so was everybody else who worked on it, for sure. But, you know, Glenn's a unique cat that way. He's really smart, good collaborator, someone you want to work with. So, yeah, he's all those things. In addition to having that damn star quality charisma thing that works so well. It was just finding Adria, who, you know, came in and, you know, made Madison very real and believable and everything she needed to be to have this be believable. So I don't know. It was fun working with those two.
And then how did you and Glenn craft the different like identities he takes on? Because even if we see them for a very short amount of time, they're all so uniquely different. And I wanted to stay with them for like an entire movie.
I think each of those little hitman figures that are Gary's kind of imagination that he cooks up for his clients. Yeah, each of them could be their own character, you know, in a movie or something. So, but it's all myth, you know, it's all make believe. It's something he's creating for what he thinks his clients want, you know. So when you're in that fake world, let's say, you can really push the boundaries of that. I mean, we're making a comedy, but the real Gary Johnson did that to some degree, but not as much as we did in the movie. You know, Glenn kind of went off the deep end there, but it was a fun thing to watch, you know.
It was so much fun to watch. And then were you able to kind of talk to the real Gary Johnson about how he went about this?
Yeah, you know, I did talk to him on the phone a number of times. And just when he was going to kind of come, he passed away kind of over a short amount of time. He had gotten ill and, you know, it was sad. But yeah, I was hoping he'd come to set or get to know everybody and stuff. So it was a real loss for all of us. But, you know, we sort of do it in his honor now. But yeah, yeah, I think just the fact that he was a real guy, we felt very grounded in, you know, the real world. That was him. That was his life, you know.
Definitely. And then is there anything from this experience you'd like to take into future projects like Merrily We Roll Along?
You know, I don't know about from this project, but I don't know. I'm kind of set in my methodologies. But, you know, every story, every movie has its own demands, and you work within that, you know, what it needs, you know, what you have to focus on and make work and put all your efforts into. So every story has its own little, you know, demands, you know. So I don't know. I wouldn't put anything. You hopefully grow and get better. So everything you do, you hope to be improving. So yeah, I'll take in a little more experience, a little more tools in your kit, a little more this, a little more that, but nothing specific to that any more than any other movie I made.
Right. And then how do you find that balance when telling a story about a real person, but heightening elements like the comedy and romantic aspects in this?
Other times I've made movies based on real people and facts. I've always really just stuck to those facts as close as possible. I never really deviated much. I wanted to be able to say, oh, it's really authentic. This is exactly as much as you can how it happened. But no one really rewards you for that. No one, you know, you don't get there's no prize at the end of the thing. You just have, you know, it just the story you wanted to tell. I mean, I give Glenn some credit for kind of pushing me like, oh, well, what if we, you know, what if we kind of deviated from the story? Because I was saying there's not enough story there to make a movie. What if we did? I said, well, if we're going to do that, you know, once we lowered the floodgate, you know, it was like, oh, well, gosh. Then we found ourselves in genre territory. It got really fun. Just the way the movie does. It sort of takes off there. Just that's analogous to our experience with it. You could have these fun ideas and bring them in and see if they would work. And yeah, it got really creative, really fun, really fast when we did them.
Like I said, this movie is absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. I can't wait for more people to see it.
Oh, thank you. It's really nice talking with you.
No, I don't buy it.
What?
You're not a hitman. You can't be.